What's up, guys? We are back with another episode of Behind the Business. It's been a few weeks. We were gone for a hot minute. You went on vacation.
I did.
And then I went on vacation.
Yes, you did.
And so the question is, obviously we're missing content for that period of 2 weeks, but more important than the content, are you well rested?
I am tan.
Yeah, that is
a wise man told me the other day that I'm either look rich or homeless.
Yeah. Yeah, you're either very rich or very poor if you have a good tan. That's what somebody said.
Listen, Miami was a very nice place to get away.
Yeah.
Helped me do a little bit of thinking.
Did it?
It did.
You were with your teenage daughter.
I was with my 13-year-old daughter on the beach.
A lot of people think you go to Miami. You're just like, okay, yeah, I just got back from Miami. I got this killer tan. People are thinking like 11 private yachts, Fontainebleau.
Well, can't get into 11.
Okay, because she's literally almost 11, right? Your daughter.
Exactly.
And
not going to any clubs.
No clubs.
A lot of the restaurants in Miami aren't even open, right, until 8, 9 p.m. and they don't want children in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a different type of vacation.
Interesting. Yeah.
But it made me think, like the word vacation comes from some sort of Latin, right?
What does it mean?
I think it means like to be free from responsibilities, right?
Oh,
free from work.
Okay, it's not like the word
that
mortgage.
Is definitely not how we as entrepreneurs feel.
Yeah.
Good or bad, we don't think about getting away from work. That's all we think about, right? We think about our businesses and we think about our productivity and our baby.
Right.
And whether we're laying on the beach or on a boat, at dinner, we're thinking about business.
Are you still at that point in your life where you're so Davis Clark? Shout out to Davis Clark. Are you still at that point in your life where you're always thinking about Cardiff, or are you thinking about other investments? Like, are you thinking about crypto investment portfolios?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not just thinking about Cardiff. I'm thinking about everything that's going on in the Wall Street Journal around the world.
Right.
But I'm definitely not able to zone out completely and just sit there and stare at the water for 8 hours a day.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think we're just wired differently. I think we're successful people, and successful people have this disease,
right,
that we just can't relax like the average person.
Have you ever heard that Elon Musk interview with Joe Rogan?
No.
It's a really interesting.
You don't want to be inside his head.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
My head's a little bit nicer to reside in, but still probably a little off limits for the average person.
Yeah. Yeah, I think.
And I'm okay with that.
Right.
Because that's what made me.
Yeah.
That's what created the drive and the ambition and the excitement to get to where we are today.
Yeah. I think a lot of people think that once you achieve a certain level of success in life, that the anxiety finally subsides, that you can finally rest, that your mind can find rest. And the truth is that an anxious mind never rests, right? And once you've achieved a certain level of success in life, you seemingly should be able to pivot from, okay, I built this, put it on autopilot, install a CEO, a chief revenue officer, a COO, and then pivot to what the next stage in your life is. But I feel like that you really just, the anxiety is just moved on the chessboard from one spot to the next. And you're never really accomplishing anything on the chessboard. It's really just moving pieces around. That's all it is. And so the anxiety,
I don't know about the anxiety. I think it's a game. I think we enjoy playing a game.
Well, what's this white boy? No, do not drag me into this. You were playing a game. Dan Fleischman thinks it's a game too.
Yeah, it is a game.
Yeah.
Of course it's a game.
Okay.
And we enjoy playing the game.
So what's the object of the game? Because I
get to the next level, just levels.
Okay. Right? So there's levels.
I think so.
And are the levels freedom, free from responsibilities, rest, like what are the levels of the game? Because
so it's interesting. I mean,
take us through the different levels. I want to hear.
You
start from the 20s.
You first
start from the 20s.
from the 20s.
Yeah. Like I'm a 20-year-old, right? For all the 20-year-olds that are listening, right? What are the levels of the game, right?
Yeah. So if you're 20 years old or 25 years old and you've started out your career and, you've got your first, or maybe you've gotten a promotion, you got your second position inside of a medium to large business.
Right.
You're starting to get an idea of how valuable you are. And the first idea of your value is when you decide to take a vacation.
No, you're going to bring it back to the vacation.
I think we're going to bring it back to the vacation because I was spending a lot of time thinking about that for young people.
But when you're a young person, you're not going on vacation to relax. You're going on a vacation to conquer. It's different.
Regardless, when you're a young person going on vacation, you have to think about, let's say you're going away for 5 days.
Is this Coachella?
It could be Coachella. It could be Europe,
Okay.
right? It could be a trip back to your mom's house in Wisconsin.
Right.
And you got to think about what's going to happen during these 5 days. Is my boss telling me that I should shut my phone off, not look at my emails, and completely disconnect from everything that I do? For me, that is the biggest red flag you could possibly imagine. If your boss told you that,
From an employee or employer perspective?
from the employee's perspective.
So if your boss is saying that you need to disconnect, you're saying that's a red flag?
It's a red flag all the way around.
Interesting.
That if you're going on vacation and you've bought into this bullshit, that the best thing for you and for the company is for you to not be needed for a period of 5 to 7 days, you bought a load of horse shit.
Yeah. Okay.
You are replaceable. You're not important. And you better figure out how to refocus your life and your career.
Right. Okay.
Because the truth is that we know as we've transitioned from employee to employer and to building a larger business,
Right.
we know that no one of value can be just left alone on an island for 5 to 7 days.
Right.
Right? When I was a young man, I was made to go on vacation with a BlackBerry. Shout out to BlackBerry.
They still exist.
Do they?
Yeah.
Amazing.
They're in Irvine.
Yeah. And I knew that there was some level of importance to what I contributed because they needed to contact me.
Right.
And today, we're trying to, what are we doing? We're making ourselves into Europe where people take 6, 8, 10-week vacations and disconnect from everything that they're doing.
Yeah.
Because they know that they can come back to a secure job. Well, what does security come with? It comes with ceilings.
Lack of upside.
Lack of upside.
Right.
Right. It comes with stratification, social stratification, where they tell you, well, you're this type of person. Your family's this type of family.
This is where you fit into
That's where you fit
the
in.
matrix. So this is like a PSA for, I guess, like level 1, right? Sort of intrapreneurs, people who are dialed into working at medium to large size organizations. And if your boss is telling you, I'm kind of recapping what you said, make sure I understand. But they're saying like, just go ahead, disconnect, like take your 5-day vacation, whatever, go see your mom in Milwaukee.
It's the best thing for you.
Yeah. But you think that's BS.
I think it's complete BS.
Okay. So that's level 1. Now tell me about 30s, because once you get into your 30s, you've got 1 kid, you've got a dog, right? You've got the dual income, right? Generally, right? What does a vacation look like in your 30s?
I think the vacation in your 30s, by then you've probably figured out that you are needed at whatever business you're working in.
Right.
Now, you could be an entrepreneur by then, right? You could have started your own thing, or you could still be working at a large business, right?
Yeah.
And you know that you can't ignore your emails.
Right.
You can't ignore your text messages. A fire could pop up.
So talk about,
But as you've kind of gotten to a new level in the game, you're now being asked to potentially shut off some of the day-to-day work that you're working on and think about some new projects. Think about higher level topics. Think about things that you can't think about when you're in the office. And I think that not only does that apply to executives, it also applies to entrepreneurs.
okay. So or sort of play back what you just said. We're talking about phase 2 intrapreneur, somebody who's within an organization.
But as a creative force inside that organization.
I understand.
Right.
So they get away from the doldrums and the rigmarole of working within an organization. They go on vacation and they're able to think about more aspirational topics. And so you're encouraging them on a vacation, right, to channel the creativity.
Absolutely.
Okay. Interesting.
Yep.
And so
open up those notes, those Word documents that you've been thinking about.
you just say Word documents?
Yeah. You know what that is?
I don't use any Microsoft. Lev, do we use any Microsoft products?
Shout out to MSFT.
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah. You are alone. I think you're the sole member of the entire
Outlook Club.
I think so. I've never met another person who uses Outlook in like the last 10 years.
Don't worry.
Yeah. Okay. But you're saying like you're using voice notes and you're opening up like Apple Notes and you're transcribing some of these aspirational thoughts. You're able to get away from the office, which allows for, right, a more like free flowing sort of creative thought process.
Yeah, no doubt, right? It's like you don't need vacation to go check out new places. You need your brain to feel like it can function in a different way than it ever has when you're at home.
But it's funny, right? The way you think about vacation is not a break from reality. It's a break from the, as I said, the doldrums and the rigmarole of the day-to-day ping pong life, right? Of being stuck within a large, medium to large organization. You're not explaining what a vacation is supposed to be, like the denotation, right? The actual like dictionary version of what a vacation is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a vacation for the heart, the soul, and the mind. And the way you're explaining it, it's a vacation is it's a process in which you expand the sort of the peripheries of your mind. You like push them out further, so you can see a bigger picture as it relates to your work, not as it relates to your life.
Yeah, but I think I'm arguing for both.
I think you're sick.
I think that if I could be, a very sick person.
I think you're a sick person.
But I think the truth is that this idea of vacations in these bite-size intervals.
What is a bite-size interval?
3 days, 5 days, 7 days.
Right.
That's what's sick. Right? If you're expecting to nourish your soul, and to somehow see some amazing level of self-improvement, or relaxation in such a short period of time, you should move to Europe and get a job there. I think they've got that shit figured out. Right? They go on vacation for 6 to 8 weeks. That's soul nourishing. That's relaxing. That's a true disconnection.
Okay.
But in America, we don't function like that. And so your vacation should be part of your annual plan. It should be built into your life, especially if you're an entrepreneur. It's a little bit more difficult to do as an employee. But if we're speaking to entrepreneurs,
I think we're speaking to intrapreneurs, right? I'd like to understand it from an entrepreneur perspective too. That's a little bit different.
But the intrapreneurs, it's a little bit tough to weave vacations into the fabric of your life. They don't have as much flexibility. They've probably got a boss, and that boss has a boss. And
reminds me of a meeting that we were at earlier this week.
At a very large company.
Yeah.
And so it's very tough to say that I'm going to build my vacations into the fabric of my life. Meaning that I know that once a month I'm gone for a week. And that week helps me get off the grid.
Yeah.
Right? And get off the grid of the daily grind of whatever my business does and whatever people that I interact with every day.
Right.
And I may or may not bring my family along. And so we're going to experience those soul searching moments and that, that special bonding time.
Right.
But I'm also going to be able to meet with people in that particular location that I would never see otherwise. I'm going to be able to focus on thoughts and projects that, sick or not, my brain simply can't figure out when I'm in my native environment. And I need to get the heck out of it. And that could be to Italy or could be to somewhere that's only 2 hours drive away. because I don't see much of a difference between how I feel when I get away 2 hours away from my home or an 8-hour flight from my house.
Interesting. Okay.
And this also, since we're talking about tax time for an entrepreneur, it becomes a great tax write-off. Because if you're thinking about business,
right,
you're meeting with people relevant to your company throughout that vacation. Guess what?
it's a write-off.
It's a
Do you even know
write-off.
what a write-off is? You don't know that meme. Okay. It's all
That's
good.
a good meme.
It's a great meme. Yeah.
But yeah,
Write
so
it
you're
off.
able to take
Who
your
writes it
hotel. Oh, that's the GC meme.
GC?
Isn't it like a Cardone thing?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, I thought it was.
No. What TV show is that?
I don't recall.
Yeah, but it's a good meme. It's pretty funny. Okay. Well, as I understand it, right, you're a sick person. And just to kind of recap everything you said,
Sick man.
you go on vacation to distance yourself from the menial aspect of your job and the day-to-day grind. And you go to free your mind from that grind, expand the vision, the sort of the breadth of your sight line to ensure that you're zooming out enough to see a bigger picture of what is in store for the business, not 6 months down the line, but 12 months down the line, 24 months down the line, 3 years down the line. So you're using it as a tool to see a bigger picture, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, a bigger picture of life.
Yeah, because I think,
And that's why you include your family and your friends, and your business partners in this. Because you want to make sure that they're infected with the sickness that you have.
It sounds very
Clinical.
It sounds like a virus. Yeah, it sounds, yeah, absolutely. Which does spread depending on who you bring on vacation with you.
Look, we're boys. When we go on vacation,
Yeah.
me and you, me and Mo, we can be happy standing in a pool
Right.
that's 4 feet deep,
Right.
throwing a little blue ball to each other.
Okay.
Women might feel a little bit differently, but men, we just stand there in a pool overlooking some other body of water and just tossing a ball to each other for like 2 hours. Perfectly happy.
I have a 40-foot pool. You want to throw a ball? We can throw a ball.
We got to get out of here.
No. What you should really do is you should spend $1 million on your backyard, because I think what it's going to do is going to create an oasis at your house.
Like Hawaii.
Perfect. Here's the check. There you go. And what do I get in return?
I fucking hate it.
I got the largest water feature ever, right? That's what it is. So.
And it's still here.
What's that?
The water feature is here.
I have the $1 million water feature.
And that's the main problem.
Why do you say that?
Is when the thing that you're using to get away, get out of the grind, get out of your own head is located in the same place where that happens every single day, it's a failure. And so you'd rather go to another place with a worse water feature,
right,
that makes you feel
with other people
disconnected, relaxed. Oh, peeing in the pool.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know. It's interesting, right? As we get older to kind of analyze how you feel when you get away. And I realize that for me, it has to be a part of the fabric of my life. I want to get away. It's very healthy. It helps me to heal and expand my mind, and also spend quality time with my family and my friends. But it needs to be built in to how I function day to day, month to month. So it should be planned, and there has to be some rhythm to it. And it can't just be something that happens once or twice a year.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Listen, we're out of time, but put a bow on this, and in 2 sentences, give your PSA to young people that are either entrepreneurs or, like we were talking about, intrapreneurs, and give them the PSA of what Dean Lulkin prescribes to someone planning to go on vacation. What should they do? How should they act? What should they expect? And when they're done with the vacation, right? What's the takeaway?
Yeah, I think if I was in my 20s or 30s and I was about to go on vacation, I would make sure that my superiors are prepared that I will be in regular communication with them and that I won't take no for an answer. I want to stay connected, maybe not as much as I do during non-vacation times, but I want to make sure that I know what's going on. But I also dedicate a good chunk of time on that vacation to thinking about ideas and projects that I can't think about when I'm in the office. But the idea that I stay connected and stay relevant is so, so important, because if they're not the ones telling you that they're going to need you once or twice and you may get a phone call or a text, I think you've got a serious problem, unless you're in a very technical role, like a coder or a programmer of some sort. If you're in a business role inside of an organization and you're not needed for a week or two, you're fucked.
We'll get that in post. We'll see you guys on the next episode of Behind the Business. We're out of here. Adios.